I cannot see that. I can't find my magnifying glass. But that's not too bad right there for the margin. That's going to be the top of the contact patch. Okay, so it has been a while since I set up a new cylinder head, a new cutter. And right now I'm just setting up the cutters. I don't know if the recession's going to allow us to not do seats. We'll find out. It's right at about 55,000, so it's pretty freaking good, according to the spec. Now we'll just put it at the spec. I'd like to see it a little bit taller than that, though. I don't know. It's the end of the day. I'm gonna go. Let's go eat. And I'm gonna think about that because I might want to change that cutter and run that thing further up, take it closer to the top. That cutter gives us a 79, so it's about 80 thousandths width of the seat. 55 thousandths margin, which is up top. That little bit right there on the top. So I'm seeing that as 66 on the intake and 54 on the exhaust minimum. So we're at 55 on the exhaust. 66, I guess I can go see if I got a different cutter that'll give us a bigger margin on that. This is getting seats, most definitely. Okay, I cut it. I cut them till the seat cleaned up. Checked it on this one. Cut them all just till they clean. That's all I did. I cut down till it cleaned, and I ground the valve till it cleaned. And the damn thing is 70 freaking thousandths deep. Okay, so scratch that. We're putting seats in both of them. It was 36, and in order to clean it up, which would have been about at the 65 mark here. So in order to clean it up, I took 35 more thousandths just to clean it. Got that done. That's good for exhaust. And now we're not even going to do it. So at least I can leave this set up for exhaust, maybe. I don't freaking know. I probably won't. I probably won't leave it set up because I got the other cutter here that I can use right there and put that in there, and it'll take it out and run it right along there, and I'll cut seats out. I thought sometimes you can get by with 6 liters if just cleaning them up and they won't be sunk all the way to the freaking floor, which that's where these are. These were low to begin with. So since we put seats in, I'm not sure what height I want to put them at. I know what the spec is, but I'm thinking make it maybe 30. Maybe I'll run them 30 all the way across the board. Or do I need to just leave well enough alone and put them at the number of what they're supposed to be? Let me know. What do you think? I mean, I might try to use as many of these old valves as we can, because if the seat can be changed, then, you know, it doesn't matter how much took out of the valve right there to clean it up. It doesn't even matter because I can just raise the seat up. I don't have to cut it so deep. So I mean, once again, first 7.3 heads. 6 liter, you can manipulate the heck out of it. This one, I don't see why it'd be any freaking different. These are the valve seals out of the old 7.3, and it looks like that would have been exhaust. Actually, I didn't take a look at them before I took them apart, but I would assume exhaust from the backside, I think, because every other one is not like it. Look at that, that's good. Or that one's not burnt, and that one is. Is it all exhaust valve seals? Yep. Chewed. Good. I'm just grabbing them out of the box. I don't know what order they're in, but there's one for one exhaust and one intake. So would you think it's intake or exhaust that just burns the bottom of the valve seals? That's where the guide touches. Well, it's supposed to touch. That's where I put the guide touching at. Do you think the guide touching it could be bad? Or is it because of intake exhaust? Because we are pretty much every other one. So it might not even be a placement. Because, you know, the other ones, those are integral guides that we just cut out. They were casted in, so. Oh, guess we could count them. We need to come up with something different for valve seals for exhaust. Then for intake, maybe. Man, I really think I want to see what will happen. What is the worst case scenario if I do go ahead, just put the cutter in this big one that is like as small as it goes, which is very convenient. That means I don't have to change anything yet. I've only been changing, that is my intake seat cutter. That one used to be, that's what I have cut these now, but that used to be what I would use to cut the counter bore out for intakes, because I had a different one for every procedure. So I went ahead and sucked it up and changed it. It's 2002 with shoot, I don't even remember what number that is. That's the 55 thousandths, and I don't like the 55 thousandths. That makes it there. And I mean, call me wrong. I think the farther down that you go, I've seen it firsthand. The farther down that seat is, then it allows buildup in the margin. There is going to be crap right there, and if there's too much margin, it will actually bleed up, and there'll be crap outside of the valve. Obviously not here, because hopefully would be a head gasket sealing that there, but all over here it would just it like mushroom out of carbon, nasty crap that you can clean right off, but in operation of the engine, it allows buildup to happen. So that is a bit much. I'm just studying. That's all I'm doing. I'm studying. So maybe I'll take that ground valve and let's see how well it contacts this, just to see where factory had the margin at. Okay, yeah. I got sidetracked. That's the next head. We're gonna do that on the next head. That'll be we have one more head to do. But this one, I was actually thinking I'm gonna put the cutter in here. First thing I'm gonna do is put the cutter in, and not this one. This one just does the counter bore. See how it's triangle right there on top? I would have to put the other, this guy right here, you can actually put a profile cutter. That's why I like this horse stall mat. I didn't used to set things out like this, but I mean, while I'm doing this right now, everything is nice and safe. Like these little cutters, I can just drop them as long as they don't bounce off each other. But that will sit inside of there. See how that's got a little different recession on it? There you go. It'll sit like that. Right there. Let me see if I can do it without. Yep. It's got the little cutout so that you can have the profile. The other one does not have that. It's got a straight one, and that allows you to put these. Those are the cutter that we use to cut the square pocket, the seat. Of course, that is a 6-liter seat. We got all the seats in the freezer. And the freezer is way the heck over there, like in the other world. We don't have a freezer over here yet. We just have a fridge. That will allow us to cut a straight hole down in here. So if what I'm getting at is if I'm doing seats, right? Okay, I'm planning right now, I'm doing seats, because the recession here is like 95 thousandths, like almost, to clean up. How crazy. Okay, so I have a free shot right now. Let me pull this out here. I have a free shot at R&D now. So I can take this cutter, this big, fat, nasty bastard that doesn't really fit in anything, and see, like that's where, well, first thing I need to do is see if I can get what size this is. I mean, I guess, it really doesn't matter what size it is, because you can just call Tucker Valve Seat in Odessa, Texas, and they will knock it out and just send them quick and be exactly what size you want. Doesn't matter what you cut it out. I mean, we've got a couple of them. They're over in the freezer with our little freezer pack, but this is one from them. When a seat, I mean, when you mess up and the seat gets cut too big or too small, then you can call Tucker Valve Seat and get a bigger seat made real quick, overnighted to you. So since I can do that, I'm gonna put this profile cutter in, and I'll go ahead and run this cutter down in here at the bigger OD. And hope, maybe I'll just do one. because it'd be a real drag if I do the profile cut, the actual valve job cut on the smallest this can be, and see where it places the valve at, because it was so close. There is a little rat's chance in the world that it will just close that margin up a little bit. There actually is a chance. I'd like to find out, because if I can just grab this cutter right here and not have to do a bunch of changing and just lower it all the way as low as it can go and put it in and cut it, that's pretty nice. Yeah, I think I want to try that, because I would really kick myself in the butt 10 years from now if I've been setting the cutters up the whole time and this winds up, oh, why don't you just do this? Yeah, so that'd be a drag to scrap the whole cylinder head over it, wouldn't it? But Tucker Valve Seat will allow us that you can pretty much cut anything you want out of it. It just, they're not that expensive either. I mean, it's more the day, you lose the day, so you can't do any more work, but I really would like to use this. I think, God, I want to use this. This right here is like, I don't know, expensive. You think I would have taken better care of it, not let it rust at all. Looks a little pitted on it, doesn't it? Like maybe I could sharpen my cutter. And I probably need to learn how to sharpen these. I mean, most of these are brand new. But I have a diamond cutter right here. Put it on here. The pilot goes in. It's literally been like a year since I've done this. And you go up there and you dress it on the wheel. Right there, just like that. You actually lock this down. You lock it down on the angle and then turn this. You lock this wherever you want it at so that it acts square with that, and then you can turn that into it and sharpen your cutters with a diamond wheel. So we can do that here. It's kind of, well, you can see I've done this one. Looks like I've gotten into one of the screws because obviously I don't have either the angle right, I didn't have something right, or I think it was that I could have used a longer notch in this, that it didn't travel enough, which they did have to replace that once. It was all wonky from new. That's pretty true now. Okay, so I'm assuming these valves are actually the same head diameter, aren't they? I think they are the same head diameter. But you can hold them up here real quick and look at them and tell when one's 30 and one's 37.5. I'm pretty sure, let me look. I think the stem is, the head diameter is the same on both of those. It sure is, 1/680. Oh, that's, yeah. So 1/680. Now the seat width would be the change, but that would mean that the valves are the same. 1/680 head diameter. They just have a different seat. They just have a different angle pre-cut into them. I'd almost rather have them with no cut. Just have them however they are, raw, and then we'll take them down to wherever we want on whatever angle, and then they're all just blank. Maybe they'd be cheaper. Because we already are, well, I guess arguably you could take a new one. This is the new valve. You arguably could just take a new one and drop it right in, I guess. Let's compare surfaces. Granted, I didn't clean that all the way up. I was scared to death because I was cutting the crap load out just to clean up. But there's the surface we did. That is brand new SBI. I can't really say anything bad about SBI that you can't say about ours. You know, they don't look, I mean, they look good, but they don't look, when you get close, they don't look all, I mean, don't mind the dark spots. That's just me not cutting all of it out, because as you can see, I cut a crap load of it. I haven't dressed, I mean, I guess, I don't think I've dressed the wheel yet. See any shattering as I spin it? No, it looks pretty. Let's see if SBI has any. No. So moral of the story is the valves are the same. They're the same. And so I really, this is the first one I've done. So I'm like, okay, how are we going to distinguish between the two? Because they're all the same heights. You could also do this. You can, a real quick check is to line them all up and just real quick go down. And if one is shy, plus or minus, you'll see it like that. You can't really see, you can't see it with 2, you can barely see it with 3, but when you line up 5 or 6 or 7 of them, you can really tell, like a 6 liter and 6.4, they are much different, like you'll see it. See, all these are the same. So since I started, I had this cutter, set it up in there, came up with that right there. I'm kind of going a little backwards here, I guess, but when I cut one, normally on a job, let's say I have the cutter set up. Okay, I'm doing exhaust. Yeah, I'm doing exhaust. Let's say I get the first valve for the whole job set, and then I mark it, which would be this. This is a little high, I guess, but mark this valve, and it comes out like that, all good, on the very first one when I'm doing setup. Now, once I do that, then that checks it. Okay, the seat's getting cut good, the valve is getting ground good. I would go and grind every single one of the valves right there where that's at right now. So, and then that would apply the same for the intake, which would make it easier on the second cylinder head because the valves are already ground. And hopefully, if you don't have to change the freaking cutter, then you can just bang through the second one. Arguably, what we could do, no harder than it is to take off, is fixture it up, take this out, put that one in while I have my cutter set up for exhaust, and just swap it. I mean, I only have to go from here to here, so could be worse. I mean, it takes a lot less time to change the cylinder head than it does to change the cutter, especially once I get it all set up, because if we grind one, check it here, it's all good, grind all of them, and then ideally I would go cut all the rest of the seats too. But I'm gonna check this one. This one already needs seats. This one, so from here we would have cut those, and then those would still be ground. They would just get put off to the side, and then we would grab the different cutter for the seat, and now I'd cut the seat out and make it bigger. But since I want to play around with this thing, I'm going to go ahead and hopefully not sacrifice the cylinder heads, but not have to call Tucker valve seat either. Hopefully not, but if we do, they'll be there. I mean, what are you gonna do? You're gonna stop before it's clean? Now I try to just keep going. Don't want to back the stone off. It could leave a line on it. So now I'm gonna push the valve away from the grinding wheel right there. Now it's completely away. By this little guy right here, I can turn this knob and it moves the valve in and out, and I turn this knob and it moves the wheel back and forth. So let's see what we got here. Oh, it's chattered pretty bad. Is that chattered? Yeah, it looks like it. You know, I really think that, I think my machine is bouncing. Like the whole machine. I can see it. It feels all weird. It's not playing it on the ground very good. I wonder if I should just bolt it to the ground, because I just need it not to move. It's only level because so the oil can flow through it okay. Functioning, it doesn't really need to be that level, but it does need to be solid. I probably should mount it to the ground, because I think that's got to be what I got, because it wasn't doing it, just wasn't. Oh yeah, I can see him here that I can't see in the other one. Maybe I just was trying to show the freaking camera and messed him up. trying to show you. Okay, yeah, fairly unhappy with that. I can't let that ride. You can see it. You can see it chattering. Yeah, that's not good. That one moderately does it. If you look over here on the left, over here, you watch the light, you can see when the light changes. That's a chatter mark. That's where the metal goes up and down, and it's not cutting a true, a nice flat surface. Dang, so maybe SBIs are better than mine. Oh, they are, look at that. Okay, so maybe it's just simple, I need to dress the wheel. Because I better be able to do it as good as them, even though they probably have a... Well, they don't have nothing no better than that. They don't have no equipment better than that. So obviously it's just me keeping the machine up, because I probably should just dress it. That looks good. Bastard. What about this one? This is the first one I did. Maybe the wheel just needed dressed. Watch there as I spin it. Yeah, probably just needed to be dressed. Okay, let me hold it off the table. That one's not, doesn't have it. Okay, so that shows we can do it. And it hopefully shows that we're paying attention for when we are doing it, because that is, it's got a bunch of it. And then if, you know, lapping does fix that. Lapping will fix that. There might be, I mean, there might be a point where this, even where this is, we'll find out on this job, because it took quite a bit to clean up. And then they're already recessed down so low that there's, I mean, we can probably cut maybe a little more out of it, dress the wheel and cut it again, because we can adjust the height with the seat. So, just did another one, and it does look like it's still doing it. Is it? I'm gonna check. Yeah, there's little bitty lines in it. So for that, move this, shut that off. Make sure you put the cover on, cover this up, because we're gonna dress this wheel. We got a little diamond dresser right here. We'll loosen this up, swing this over. Generally it's set about to the stop, generally close from the last time I dressed it. So you could loosen this up, turn this off, take it over, see how close you are. We're a long ways away. Close that up and then go across it real gently. Yeah. Or what do you guys think? How do you guys do it? Let me know how you guys do it. Do you dress it and go back and forth quite a few times? See, this is backwards. Look at it. This goes around, curves into it, gets to stop. And then adjust that in and out. Just go across real slow. Same for that chattering too. What do you think of that chattering? Chattering means dress the wheel? I mean, probably. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, turn it in just a hair more and do one more back. Slowly. There's the lines in there from me being non-consistent. Is that what it is? Oh, you probably can't see it on the screen. It's just literally throwing all that rock all over everything. I mean, is it just me or did it look like it put lines in it? Let me do this. Do I just do... That covers on. Let's just do it one more quickly. Maybe not that good. Maybe there. There we go. There you go, done. Okay, let's see what the heck that does now. Oh, you can probably see from that angle, can you? Now we need a towel, clean all this crap up, because every time we dress it, I probably should just dry it all out and clean it. Dressing it throws the crap everywhere. Let's see what it does to another valve. Ooh, I don't know where it's at now. Oh, hang on. Let me just kill it real quick. Because I did move it from, oh yeah, I'm way in. Okay. How do you guys? Magic spot where we need to put it. Like that. It's on the back side. It's sitting there bubbling on it. I like that. Okay. On the wheel, so on the wheel we dressed it. Hang on. Okay, let me show you before I even do anything. Okay, I'm turning this wheel, and normally when we grind a set of valves, we're doing all of them. They're going from the same spot to the same spot. So you remember where this wheel is, and it only takes half a turn. When we get done to final size, this thing it'll be curved around this way. And then once I'm done, I know just bang it half a turn right there and it clears. So normally I only have a half a turn to catch up for where it's at. So I really don't even need to look at it. Once I come over there, bang the valve in and then turn it on and go. And then I know I got half a turn to walk up to it. When you dress the wheel, it moves where this turn is. Following me? So I'm chasing that right now. Really would like to not, there. Let's just see. There we go. Okay, now I take my hand off that wheel on the left hand because human nature is to move it more. And I'm getting ready right now to pull it half a turn back. Right there. Pull it half a turn back, pull it out. Yeah. Well, I don't think that's it then. This still has it. What do you guys think? I mean, granted, for this one, a quick lap will be done. It'll be great. But I think literally the machine might be moving. As I'm shaking this, turn this off here. As I'm shaking it. Oh, I can hear it. Here, let me set you down here and you tell me where it's moving at. Which one is it? I'm gonna have to go back and look at it. Because as I'm shaking the machine, I'm moving too, so I can't sit. This one right here. Okay, I'll go back and look at that. That's why I'm thinking I might just want to bolt it down. Just put a couple of holes in it and bolt the damn thing down. Because it very well, when I'm shaking it, the whole thing's moving. It's making, I don't know what it's doing. Maybe I need some maintenance on this. You guys know of any maintenance I should be doing that would combat this? Whey oil, different kind of whey oil. Clean all the crap from dressing the wheel out. Maybe I just need to, like normally I would just hit that wheel one more time. I would cut like a pretty good amount off of it and start fresh because I did kind of pussyfoot around on that. So it's like 11 o'clock at night. So I was just coming in to, you know, think about what I'm going to do tomorrow. And I wound up grinding some valves and messing with all kinds of stuff. So yeah, glad you're here. Let's change this out. Okay, let's see. It's actually the first time I ever sent this big cutter down in there. And I don't have, let's see, we do about 175, 180 finish. Here we go. Let's see what happens. This is that big cutter. This is potentially sacrificing this damn cylinder head. Let's go. Ready? How are we? Okay. Now I can turn it with this knob right here, not the big one. There we go. I'll try and get so you can see where it's going to contact at. So you can see. Actually, I can see on the screen better than I can see with my own eyes. I don't know how far down I'm going. Probably on the left and the right of the screen. I got some stuff on my screen here that I can't see it, but we can watch where it contacts first because it has not touched yet. It's just hovering. I want to see where this big cutter, because if I can just put an insert into this big head without doing any adjustment, I'm gonna do it. Maybe. Okay, where's it cut at? We're down the throat, aren't we? Are we? Oh, it's going blurry. Hang on. Let's do this. I got an idea. Let's do like DMV did. I don't really have fancy colors yet. We'll get some. But let's color this seat in right here. Just color the whole thing. I want to see where it contacts at. Just use a freaking Sharpie. It's good enough. Sharpie brand. It's got to be Sharpie brand though, huh? Okay. Let's try this now. See how close I can get. See. Doesn't even look marked, does it? Okay, right there. There we go. I should have zeroed it so I could have told where it was, but I didn't. Gotta be getting kind of close. Can't even really see where it's even cutting. Our fella probably would have let the Sharpie dry. Oh, like how that was going. Where that thing even cut at? The very, very top right there, you can see it was kind of. Or was it even, it was probably hitting the freaking tool. No, it wasn't hitting the tool. I was thinking maybe right there, but no way. No way. It's inside of it, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much. Was I just not getting hard enough with it? I'm thinking. All right, this little doohickey right here will let me measure the, I just checked it with a standard. I got a 1 inch standard right there. And it goes on there. And this tells me that it's 184.01 is what my complete OD is at the top. So 184.01, I'm gonna have a lip if I send this down in here, or where'd it go? That. If I send that down in there, that outside right there is 184.01. Okay. Come back here to the trusty old book. We'll look at valve seat insert. Oh, you bastards, you only give me actual 1 7/16, 1 3/4 OD, 1.75. Okay, so at 1.75, I'm gonna be too far. There's gonna be a step here, but we're all the way at the top. So the seat is 250 thousandths. So we'd have 250 from right there. I mean, it's almost there though. I mean, it's almost to the point to start cutting. What I'm getting at is I don't want to trash this. I mean, I guess if I do, I only trash one that I got to get an oversized seat for. But arguably, it probably won't even do it because it was already cutting up there and it was cutting down here. So it was only a quick matter of minutes before I was going to clean that entire thing up and have all fresh cut right there. That's what I kind of wanted to do, and I wanted to see how the valve sat. So I did want to double check that. I am too wide, so do not sink this down. However much we're go down right now is that much I'm going to be exposing the seat, or not really even just cutting out the area that the seat is going to use to seat into, unless I go 250 thousandths from the top of this bore. I mean, I could arguably go a little bit lower with this one since I'm only a couple thousandths down. You know, we got 250 thousandths to go down. So, you know, if I lose 5 or 10 thousandths here, I don't know. You know what? Heck with it. Let's just go caution the wind. Just want to touch. Cutting way too much out of that outside. It did. Up there, I wonder how big that shoulder is. The very top, I'm talking about up here, right there, that, how deep is that? Because that is where I'm exposing where the seat is supposed to touch. Yeah, see how much I did there? I knew I was cutting a freaking bunch out. Or was it? I don't know. I wanted to put a screwdriver on it so I could tell how far down it is. Yeah, see right there. That's the lip. So I went down quite a bit there. Okay, maybe not. But obviously that won't work. So, I mean, unless I take the diamond dresser, because that wheel right there will cut this. So, you know, generally we don't freaking care about this area right here. Nobody cares about. That doesn't do anything. It really doesn't. I mean, oh, I guess maybe it does if they cut the out. Yeah, whatever, maybe it does. Right there. Because I really need that cut off. I need that going. Maybe I got another cutter. You know, should I go look for another cutter? Because if I can use this head, that would be freaking wonderful. Because I probably could put a bigger margin in it. Put a bigger margin, it'll bring the seat over. It'll bring the seat further down into it. Let's see where it went there. It really went just all kinds of bullshit everywhere. So let's take this one out. I'll put this one in and set it up to 1.750. That is the really cool thing about SBI. When they have their seats, their part numbers for their seats tell you the size that you need to cut, not the size of the seat. It's pretty freaking cool. So we're putting in some 175s. 1750 is what they actually are. But so I can set this up here, put it on here, set it to 1750. Let her. So I'll put that cutter back on here and put this up. because we can't even use it. I would believe that if it's wise practice, it would be wise to not leave them together. And I try to keep everything in sleeves, and I have a towel that I actually cover all this with when I'm not working it. Yeah, right up there. This, I need to get another sleeve for that. This one will go up in there and they'll just hang out. So I had to get the freaking book out. Every time I lose the battery in this thing, I have to get the book out to remember how to set it. This is a 1 inch standard, and I think it's pretty close. 1 inch standard, so you put that in, and I had to set it to positive 1 inch, not negative 1 inch. Yeah, it took me a little while to remember. So now I set that on there so it measured that 1 inch how it was supposed to. So I'm going for 175, something like that, but that doesn't matter. I'll actually set this up there and push this in. Take the standard off. Lower this down on there. See where we're at. Okay, yeah, this is actually, I mean, I was using my phone before. This is, if I could have my phone right there, I can see better through my phone than I can with my actual eyes. So so if you watch a bunch of this, just realize that I'm using it so I can see too. We gotta go in just a little bit. We gotta go out with the cutter a little bit more because we're at 175. We're 29 thousandths out. We pushed it back in a little bit. It's gonna have to be way closer now. Yeah, like exactly. Okay, I got 17,499. I have to show you how I do that. Tighten the Allen and tighten the handle, and you just kind of have to feel it and get them so that they meet. So we're at 14.99 or 4.99. Now I need to tighten these screws up, these set screws in the bottom. I need to tighten those two up, and then it always moves. It will never stay right there. So then we go back in there. Ideally, we'll be a little under, and then you can put a little tension on that set screw right there. It'll give you a couple more thousandths out. This is a two-handed deal. It's right there, 52. I'm like 29 if I get it right. So, yeah, go ahead and do it a couple of times and get it so that it reads good. Can't show it. I mean, I could lean it up and you could watch, but whatever. You little bastard. It was 148 or 748, so I'm still 2,000. So I've adjusted it like 5 times. I'm gonna keep doing it. Maybe I just need to get the hang of it again, which I never got the hang of it in the first freaking place. This is why I wanted to just set this up once and never touch it again. Go buy another one, because dang. Or I guess I'll go ahead and order some 175 cutters, because they make those that I can chuck right up, and they're only that size. They can be cut 175. That's it. Which, I mean, that's all I need cut right now is a 175. But with it reading that 2,000ths, now I'll give just a little snug on that screw right there and see what I can get out of it. Holy crap, watch. Okay, I can't, I'm gonna have to do it with both hands. I gotta loosen it up and turn it just a fraction and tighten it back up. Loosen it up, move it, tighten it. Yeah, it's both hands. You little freaking bastard. I tightened it up too much and it pushed it out to like 175.6, and I loosened it back up, and now it's 175.1. So I'm 1,000ths over. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna keep changing it. I'm gonna get that 1,000th back out of it, because we're dealing with 5,000ths press fit, and I'd rather have 5 than 4. Right? Okay, I'm done right there. That's it, I've changed it enough. We're 2/10 out, 2/10 shy, so it'd be 2/10. Yeah, call that done. Before I do cut all these, let's go to the freezer. Even though they're gonna be cold, which they don't even need to be cold, because ideally they won't change shape. And we'll make sure that we got the high nickel ones. I think we got the intakes are part number 4, and the exhaust are 4N for high nickel. Let's see. 4, 4. There you go. We got some 4 ends right there. And we got 2 boxes of them. So I'm just going to take these out. I'll put them back in later. That way I can let them warm up and measure them, double check. But with this, it's part number SB 1750 4N. Okay, 1750. Let's measure this OD, and I bet it's 1755.5. Something like that. Pretty cold too. Okay, wiggle that thing around in there and get it. You feel it. When you wiggle this around side to side, on this side and on this side, you can feel when it goes in true. We're a little shy of 5, actually. So at this rate, we're gonna have about 4.5 thousandths of interference fit. But also it's smaller, right? It's cold. It should be a little bit smaller. I don't know how much this high nickel will actually change, but the thing is, nope, doesn't look very cold. Let's look in the box. 14 degrees. Okay, so I put the camera up, but they're 14 degrees. Yeah, you can tell by looking at them, they're cold. So I'm just gonna go 17, a little bit shy of 17.5. Which, I mean, that's a little bit shy too. So it'll be all right, it'll be good. Intake and exhaust on 6 liter, 6.4, they're all different. So these being the same for seat cutting, it's a 1750 cut. So I get to cut every single one of them. Just chop them out. Got it sitting there, lock the head. Now we'll raise this up so that it can stay with the pilot. I want it to be locked on the pilot when it goes down so that it centers the head, and then unlock it. That's what this little chuck can do, up and down. Yeah, right there, that's up. Lets it follow the pilot better. So now I just want to get it started and find my vertical 0. So hit the start. Oh, hey, how about that right there? Okay, so raise it up just a hair, stop the spindle. Now we got to set all this up. So centering start height, just about where I was at right there, because I raised it up. Like, kind of like over there, how I turn the wheel a little bit, just a little bit up, and then I'll set the centering height. And then I'll go up another little bit, then I'll pull it. This will be where it releases the air and shoot, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, I just have to do it, I can't explain it. So I got my 0, I could go down, I know where 0 is. I want it to start at, 0.91. So it would start about right here, which would put it this close. Basically, if we're gonna cut these, this thing does an automatic function where according to where it starts and stops and locks the head and unlocks the head, it'll do it all automatically if you go through and set all, that's the manual-matic thing, if you go through and set them all. So I forget a lot. Okay, so centering and start height is just a fraction above, because you're gonna be going down this travel from the centering height, you're gonna be going down while the machine's running. So you almost want it to touch. It needs to just barely be like 100 thousandths. Like centering height is 100 thousandths below or above. And then I want it to retract, like say there. Say I come up to there. Once it travels past that point right there, then I want it to hit retract. I want it to pop loose and shut the machine off. Right? And then we'll go up to float height, which would be all the way up, and then I go down just a little bit, and then hit float height. We don't know finish depth yet. Finish depth is gonna be, well, actually we do. It's gonna be 0.250. Clear. 0.250. Yeah. So finish. Oh, duh. Hang on. Clear negative 0.250. So I want to be negative 0.250 on my finish height. Negative 250 below the vertical 0. So once we hit 0, which, yeah, let's I think I got them all done, but now we'll switch this from setup for intake, which I just do intake. It doesn't, I mean, you can switch them for intake exhaust if they're different, which we would do that. Yeah, we would do that. But for now, I'm gonna be shutting the machine off. The bummer is that Rottler doesn't remember any of these numbers. They don't remember none of it. So what I'm thinking is when we get it set up, like for cutting seats, you know, the head is almost always gonna be at the same spot, right? It's I mean, as far as, I mean, plus or minus a little bit, to where these don't really matter. I mean, the finish height, I'm normally, well, when I'm cutting seats, I'm gonna pay attention to the finish height, but when I'm cutting seat pockets, I pay attention to the height. Not so much when I'm just trying to clean up, but I will watch it too when I'm cutting the new seat, the new profile on the seat. So when I'm cutting that, I need to watch it, so I guess so, whatever. So we'll go to on right here, hit that. Like right now I'm floating, okay? I'm floating because I'm at 355 inches up, and anywhere between 476 and 5068. See, like I go up to 5068 and it will lock and park itself. So now it's parked. But if I come back down below 3559, well, it was supposed to be 3559. Well, oh, because I came off the float height. Duh, okay. When I come off the float height, like right back up, once I hit float height, it'll lock it. Come down under it, then you can move it around. So now that we set that up, let's try to do this one-handed. Push that down, because I would put one hand right here, right there, and you can adjust it like that goes. But I need my other hand to turn the freaking wheel. Yeah. So I guess I'll just improvise here and let it float around and try to catch it so you can see the how it goes on there. Sit for a minute. Actually, I would, because it's on automatic, so it'll go down to where it almost hits. Boom. I pull that up. I should have pulled it up after it locks. So now I'm still 58 thousandths. Still 54, 52. I can turn this wheel. 30. See how close I am to the vertical zero. Where you hear it. Pretty close. Okay, so now I'm gonna let her eat 250 thousandths deep. See, let's just watch it. Right here. And ideally, we want this to be in the center of the travel. I'm a little bit further back, but it's centered, kind of. Okay, hang on, because I want to look at that, because I kind of got a little, I didn't hit finish cut yet. I mean, it looks pretty, I think I'm not. To tell you the truth, I thought I had this insert in, and I thought I was just digging down and cutting the freaking seat. But I don't. I'm cutting it flat. It's just, I just need to dig it out. Dang it. Okay, whatever. Let's just go for it then. I'm only 49 thousandths. I'm gonna push a little harder. This is the same cutter that I'm wanting to use to cut the rod bushings out with. Imagine if that's located on a pilot inside with the rod connected right there, and that cutter is on the outside cutting the OD. Why wouldn't it work? And I'm gonna have to go. I'm only 79 thousandths. Give her hell now. So 250 thousandths down from where it first touches, so that the entire OD of the seat is touching. Okay, me recording this is taking way longer. I should have already cut it. So 7, 9. Okay, before I actually go too damn far, let's before we go too far, let's double check our seat width. 250, pretty dead nuts. Good to go there. Actually, I think I want to go finish at 249. Let's clear it at -0.249. That's what I want. Because I want to have already hit. Okay, light flashes. Now. Okay, what am I messing up now? I think retract height. I need to go like right there. Yep. Yeah, I had to retract height way too far. Retract is when it cuts loose, so I really kind of need it. Let's just let it. 249. And then I could actually go retract it like probably about. Hell, that'll work. That'll work just fine. And there is what the bore looked like. That's what the inside of our bushings will look like. For the last couple of thousandths, I'll cut it out of the rod home. But we gotta kind of look at this too, and for the seat that we're doing. That bottom looks like, that looks uneven. I think it is. Let's see. Oh no, it's just a shadow. Okay, it looked like it was a step there. No, I can't feel it. So it's just probably where I was sitting there burning on another bottom there for a minute. But let's go ahead and cut some more out. Okay, you guys pushed me long enough. It's 12:30 at night. The head's moving. I need to adjust the head, and I don't remember how they did it. The head is not staying as locked as I want it to be, so I need to pull this cover off. It's done it before. I need to pull this cover off, and there's shoes in there. Well, I haven't done it before. I haven't adjusted it, but hopefully I can true it up because it's moving. It's not like in these big seats. Like the machine is not strong enough. It's not staying put. What a freaking drag. I wanted to have them all cut. Let's look. Maybe I don't know what the machine does. I hit save profile up here. See what it does. Because I'm gonna hit save. There's all my numbers. I'll remember it tomorrow. Here, I'll take a screenshot of it. Bam. Right there. Okay, so I can just put those numbers in tomorrow. I'm gonna go back, shut it off. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and shut the lamp off and then go back. They said this, because I had to replace the screen, that I needed to go back, let it sit on the home screen, relax a little bit, hit the e-stop, let it relax there, and then kill the power.